Hey guys, it's 5:06 on October 10th, 2017, and I just want to, we're not going to see much of this. So I just wanted to show you some normal smoke here. This is what you see when it's black. You see how it's black here? This is because this is actually the part of the forest that's burning. And so forest fires normally burn black because there's a lot of carbon. And what happens when you have wood that burns is you get soot, and all that is it's just unburnt carbon because you don't have complete perfect combustion in these open air, places like this. Open air fires don't produce complete total combustion of materials, which is why this is such an extraordinary thing that we're observing. Is that these and it makes sense that there would be some trees in the outlines of trees left after a fire. Let me show you this. This is a forest fire here, and there's a camera inside here, and you see the temperature here to the left. It goes up to 900 degrees Celsius, and that translates to, I think, 1700 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I want you to watch this over the time. This is real time. I mean, this is just like as the minutes are ticking away here. Okay, see, we've got 3:11 p.m. And so these are just, as the minutes and seconds are ticking by. What I want you to notice is how the peak of the flame temperature, the heat peaks at a certain flash point, and then it continually decreases, even though the fire is still consuming materials. And there's wind here. There's wind blowing in. This is oxygen fed. It's open, oxygen rich burn, but the temperature continues to decrease. There's like a flash point that happens, and even though there's wind and the oxygen is feeding this, the highest point it's going to reach, it's just under 900 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now I want you to watch, and this goes on, but it has there's only so much an open air fire can burn. It's not normal for these things to burn to completion. It's just not normal. They would have to be like in a foundry, a forge, or a furnace or something, where it's got a constant pressure and a constant flow of oxygen. Because I mean, these things don't last that long. They can't. It's open air. Open air fires burn very quickly and very hot for a very short period of time, and then they kind of go slow. Then they kind of slow down. So let's look at another one here. We're going to take a peek at this one right here. And this one, all I want you to notice is that the temperature that the guy says that things are burning at.
Within minutes, each shelter is receiving direct flame contact. Unfortunately, the camera with the close-up view of the new generation and old-style shelters malfunctioned. The camera filming the two experimental shelters, however, does provide an up-close picture of the extensive flame contact the shelters received. Temperatures outside the shelters, depending on fire intensity, peaked between 1300 and 1700 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, that's very consistent with what we just saw in this open fire, this one right here. Okay, open fires, because that was Fahrenheit. They only go up to about 1700 degrees. So we'll just take a peek and show you that right down here. Right here, 1700 degrees Fahrenheit is about 900 degrees Celsius. So super hot fires. That's a really super hot fire. Now let's not forget that I showed you earlier that stainless steel and glass and stuff, we're talking 2600, 3000 degrees. Okay, so we're talking double the temperature of what we see in an open air fire, just because those materials need to be in enclosed furnaces that are pressure regulated with a constant flow of oxygen. There's just a special formula to getting heat out of burns to get them up to that temperature to melt metal and stuff like that. So this is what is so messed up about this, is that this part here is a black open air fire, and they burn black. But look at the look at the smoke that's coming out of this fire right here. Here is not black. This is not black smoke. This is a really big problem. This is a big problem. Now, what you'll see in a forest fire is you'll see initially a little bit of black and then it'll turn white, but there's both black and white. But there's no black here. You know, there's something else. This is not a normal smoke fire. This is orange. This is orange smoke. This is orange and yellow and white. That's a kind of material burn. These are the kind of chemical burns. I don't know what these chemicals are, but I can tell you right now it's not carbon. It's not carbon, and since it's an absolute complete burn, so that these places absolutely have nothing left, this is not a carbon fire. This is the only fire in the whole wide world that's considered a forest fire where the forest did not burn. The forest didn't burn here. All the glass melted. All the structural materials that used to be a house have disappeared. They have disappeared. You have a couple of bent poles here, a couple of poles that are bent, but you have absolutely no materials. The houses have not fallen. The houses have disappeared. The materials of these contents of these houses are gone. Let's listen to what they have to say here. She's going to talk a little bit about it. Well, first, let's go here. I want to show you where these fires are. Because if you're like me, you didn't know that there were 14 separate fires. How did 14 separate fires start over such a wide area? You guys, this isn't normal. This is not how it works.
These fires are burning right now. The areas affected: Santa Rosa, Napa, Calistoga, Sears Point, and Willits.
We have team coverage from the fire zones in Napa and I have ever covered, just because of the extent of the fire and how it spread through a very densely packed city. If you take a look back behind me, you can actually see we're here in the Sunset Vista neighborhood, just above Mendocino Avenue and Highway 101 here in Santa Rosa. And as you can see, there is only one home left standing. We were actually just talking with the man, Clayton Boyer.
And this is not just that the home is left standing. These homes, it's only one home left. These homes didn't fall. These homes didn't burn. These homes disappeared. There's nothing left. There's not even a toilet bowl or a bathtub or a kitchen sink. Well, that might be a kitchen sink. Okay, so I might be wrong. That may be a kitchen sink. I don't know, but there's nothing here. The rest of the stuff is all gone. This is impossible. This is just not normal. Listen to what she says here.
Now, we came up to this neighborhood about an hour ago. Before, there were decorative walls in front of the homes, the metal frames, those flames. And all that's left here are the rocks that were decorative walls in front of the homes, the metal frames that held up the decorative entrances. Now,
the metal frames that held up the decorative entrances, but the metal frames that held up the houses are gone. What on earth has happened here, people? Look at this glow. This is not a normal glow. This is not a normal glow. This is electromagnetic frequencies in this air. This is not a flame. This is not from a flame. See this halo here on the screen over here to the right? This is not there's something in the energy level in this atmosphere that is just completely messed up. This is completely messed up. Now I want to bring you to look at the fire here again, the smoke that's here one more time, just to show you that this is yellow and orange. This is not a carbon fire. This is not normal fire. Look at this. This is glowing. This is what Dr. Woods called Cheetos. There's something else happening here. This is not a normal fire. Now, let me show you some of this stuff here from this series of pictures that I took. This was a Hilton. And look what's burning. Look what's still burning. Something here has caused some, I can't describe this because these are not flames. If these were flames, the wood here would be burning, but the wood is not burning. There's something else happening here. Honestly, this looks like a Duralog, and I know that these materials are not made, this hotel was not made of Duralogs, but look at, these are not, now people have mentioned that maybe it's white phosphorus, but white phosphorus actually needs to touch every surface. And this would have to be the actual phosphorus itself burning. I thought about that because that was a really good observation that it could be, but that doesn't account for this. That doesn't account for how this stuff just splattered. It's like this house just disintegrated. And I want you to look at this. That there's absolutely nothing left but a garbage can and a ladder. And a water bath for a bird. Look at this truck. You guys, where are the steel beams that held this house together? There's some piping. There's some plumbing. There's some plumbing left right there. Okay, good. So we have some plumbing and we have a hot water heater. Where are the appliances? How come the plastic things are still in place? What is this? What's going on in this picture, you guys? Look at this metal. Just look at this. It's all twisted. Look at this. What happened to this car? What happened to this car? Where's the rest of it? Where is the rest of this car, you guys? Where is it? There's no top. This was not a convertible. You can see by the doors. This wasn't a forest fire. Because look at the forest did not catch on fire. But the house disappeared. The house is gone. The materials in this house are absolutely 100%, they're just gone. There's nothing left. Look at this. Now this is a metal toolbox, you guys. A lot of your husbands and maybe some of you gals out there have these boxes. Look at what's metal. Look at this. How did it get all metal and bent out of shape? How did that happen? How did it get dented? How did it bulge out on the sides here? What happened to this toolbox? This is steel. This thing should not have been disformed. Something turned the materials in this building to just complete nothing. And look at, there are leaves on this little shrub here. This is just really, it's just disgusting. This is just disgusting. Now this one really, you guys, this one, if you guys don't see September 11th all over this, then you guys are blind, because look at this. This is an I-beam. This is a steel I-beam, and it's just completely twisted and bent. These are some sort of weapon, energy weapon. This is something, I don't even know what to say, you guys, but this is not a fire. Metal doesn't bend and split. This I-beam is split in the middle. Look at that. This I-beam is split in the middle. That does not happen in a fire where all the trees, and look at the leaves on the trees are still fine. These are pine trees, people. Pine trees burn, like I said, if you light a cigarette near one too closely, you'll burn the whole tree. Look at this. Let's look at these twigs. How can the twigs be standing and the metal be bent? What the hell happened here? This looks like a ribbon. This cast iron fencing looks like a ribbon. It does not. This is not normal. All the contents of these buildings have disappeared. Look at this. It's just completely twisted and disintegrated. There's nothing left here. Look at this. What happened to this car? What happened to the building? How did everything in the entire building? Look, if you can look, you guys, look, here's the thing. I just showed you. Inside a forest fire, it's not a complete combustion because you're not in a chambers. It's not in enclosed chambers. Okay? At this point, the highest temperature of the fire has already passed. From here on out, it's going to cool and the fire's going to go away. Why? Because the oxygen is consistent, that it runs out. It can't do a complete total burn. Pure combustion just to combust materials down to nothing requires a vacuum-like chamber with a complete constant flow of oxygen. That's why it takes so long to burn a body. You have to have it in a furnace, or to melt metal. You have to have it in a furnace. It doesn't happen like this. This does not happen in open air unless there's something really messed up. And see, what I'm saying is that all the building contents, everything that was here, all the drywall, all the metal, all the steel beams, all the wood, everything is just completely turned to dust. That doesn't happen on an open air fire. Clearly, because if it did, then these trees would have been burned. But there's something that's happened inside these buildings. Something specific that messed this all up. Something really messed up is happening here, guys. Look at, there's a steel file cabinet. And there's a dishwasher or something. And a metal garbage can. But look at what happened to the legs. What happened to the aluminum legs on the stainless steel grill? Whatever it was made these things just bend. The metal bent. It's like, I don't know. It's such a complete and perfect burn. There has to be something that bypassed the obligation to have an enclosed space with constant feed of oxygen. Because those are the laws of physics. The laws of physics regulate that metal does not bend and melt, and that you need a certain enclosed space with constant feed of oxygen to create a furnace. And this is like something has created furnaces out of these buildings. This is not normal. This is not a normal fire, guys. This is just not normal at all. There's a really disgusting comment down here. I don't know if I saved it in one of my pictures, but it says here, you can see, officials are warning people to do the following if they see or smell smoke. It says, consider staying inside. That's so sick and twisted. Consider staying inside of this. Staying inside and run air conditioners. What happened to the air conditioners? There are no air conditioners. You're supposed to stay inside. What? If you stay inside, you're going to disintegrate. I don't know, guys. We need to ask. We need to demand answers. This is the only forest fire in the whole wide world that the forest didn't catch on fire. This is like a specific one big house fire.